Hey everyone, Jeff here. Today I'm going to shoot another vinyl update. Lots of stuff that I still have to show, and I finally have had a fair amount of listening time to get to some of it. So here's a stack of stuff that I picked up recently that I've listened to. So I'll just go straight into what that is. And first, what you'll be hearing in the background is Passion by Peter Gabriel. This is the soundtrack that he did to The Last Temptation of Christ, and haven't seen the movie, but this is just a really, really cool atmospheric album. And right now I'm on, I think, side C, but this is my first time hearing it, and I'm really, really enjoying it. I found this just utterly mint copy at a flea market for only, I think I paid $4 for it. Definitely not more than $5, but very, very cool deal, and this is definitely a cool piece to add to the Peter Gabriel collection, so very happy to have that. Another flea market find I have to show that's also a double album, Tales from Topographic Oceans by Yes. This is just a completely classic album, and I've enjoyed this one for years digitally, but finally have a vinyl copy in the collection, and you know, it's got some wear on it, but it plays very nicely from start to finish, so very, very happy to have a copy of this. And if you're not into the whole progressive genre yet, this might not be the first Yes album you want to check out, but if you're into 70s prog, this is something that you probably already have in your collection, but if you don't, this is really, really essential in my opinion. Next record I have to show is Renaissance by Vanilla Fudge. I picked this up at a 50% off sale, and it was priced at $14, but I only paid $7. This is a really, really cool psychedelic album, and it's probably Vanilla Fudge's, I guess what you would say, probably their best album, and on the very nice purple and brown Atco label. So very, very happy to get this, and a lot of the earlier Vanilla Fudge that I heard didn't quite do it for me, but this one is definitely a more rewarding listen than the other Vanilla Fudge that I've heard. So very cool to have a copy of that in the collection. And yeah, so Renaissance by Vanilla Fudge. This is one I picked up at a thrift store for 20 cents. Everything You See Is Me by Raza. It looked interesting based on the cover, and on the back they thank George Harrison, Alice Coltrane, Stevie Wonder. So I figured this could be interesting, but listening to this music just doesn't sound good to me at all. You know, the playing's okay, some of the melodies are alright, but it's just so sleek and polished and just not interesting. You know, for what I'm looking for in music at least, this just doesn't do it for me. Still cool to have it for the cover, and again, I paid 20 cents for it, so who really cares, but very nice cover, and you know, it's okay music. It's not horrible, but not for me. Now, I have a few albums here that I bought. I already had these albums, but they were in better shape than the ones I had, or they were cooler pressings. So I'll show those real quick. Abbey Road by the Beatles. Everyone knows this record. My previous copy was scratched. You know, not a lethal scratch, but still, you know, a little bit of crackle. And this is just a mint copy on the Apple label. So I picked up an upgrade of that for only $2 at a flea market. So didn't set me back at all, and I was able to trade the other one and get some credit to buy new records. So very cool to upgrade Abbey Road. Also upgraded Todd Rundgren's Utopia. This is probably my favorite Todd Rundgren release, and it's just a monster of an album. Just progressive fusion, really long tracks, and I love this album. So if you think that Todd Rundgren isn't much of a prog musician, this is something you definitely need to hear. Really just incredible stuff. Last one that I upgraded is The 12 Dreams of Dr. Sardonicus by Spirit. I've had this album for ages on vinyl, but my copy was a much later press. Like, it even had a barcode on the back. I think it was probably an 80s pressing. But this is on that really cool orange Epic label. So picked that up, got rid of my old copy, and listened to this for the first time in well over a year, and I just loved it. This is such a good album, and very happy to listen to it again, because just really excellent psychedelic music. Love this one. Another one I have to show is the first solo album from Roger Daltrey. Roger Daltrey is, of course, the lead singer for The Who, and if you like The Who, you should have no trouble enjoying this one. It's not a great album, in my opinion. You know, it's nothing groundbreaking, nothing you haven't heard before. But if you like Roger Daltrey's voice and you want to check this out, and you can find it affordably, this is a cool little piece to have in your collection, and there's some pretty good tunes on here. So, very cool to get that. One more, I have a couple more records here. The Other Side of Round Midnight by Dexter Gordon. This is on Blue Note, and it is a later Blue Note, but it's still a Blue Note, and really, really dig the way that label looks. Very cool. And only paid $2 for this at a flea market. Now, I might get this wrong, but I think that the story behind this album was there was a film that came out called Round Midnight, and Herbie Hancock, I believe, did the soundtrack for that movie. But Dexter Gordon also was involved in some of the songwriting, or I guess not songwriting, I'm not even sure, but he was involved in making some songs for the movie, and I guess these are the songs that weren't actually in the movie but were recorded in the same session, if that makes sense. So on here you've got Herbie Hancock, Wayne Shorter, Ron Carter, Tony Williams, Bobby McFerrin, so just really cool lineup. And even though these songs didn't make it in the film to the best of my knowledge, they're still pretty cool to listen to, so very happy to have another Blue Note in the collection. This next one here is one that was kind of a blind buy for me, the Jeff Lorber Fusion and the album Water Sign. Didn't know really anything about this, but it looked pretty interesting. It looked like fusion, as you would assume from the title, and that's definitely what this is. Very funky, just tremendous soloing going on here, and it's got just a really nice rock and funk edge to it. So really, really enjoyed this record, and only paid a couple bucks for it at a flea market, but this is really, really a cool one, and this is a sort of record that I like getting as a blind buy. Really happy to have that. Also, this is another flea market find, Rust Never Sleeps by Neil Young and Crazy Horse. I've been enjoying the hell out of Harvest lately, so finally got another Neil Young album to listen to, and this one isn't quite as good as Harvest, I don't think, but still really cool. And Neil Young isn't the sort of musician I'm going to listen to all the time, but when I do, I really, really enjoy this. Last one I have to show today, Spectrum by Billy Cobham. I've been enjoying this album for ages digitally, but never had a copy, and finally I do. So, one of the best drummers, one of the best musicians of the 70s, and just really happy to finally have this. Those are all the records I have to show today. Plenty more to get to that I haven't listened to yet, but as soon as I do, you know I'll make a video about it, and I'll see you all then.